All right, all right, all right. Everybody ready? How's everybody doing? Your mouths are full, so you're not answering me, right? I get that. I get that. So, thanks for coming out tonight. We got a cozy room here today, and I appreciate everybody being here. And I'm debating whether I want to give you a book update now or at the end, and I'm going to lean towards the end. So, yeah, I know you guys are like, can't wait and busting the seams, want to hear the news. I know it, but maybe not. Anyway, so I'm going to share a couple stories with you tonight, and I want you to keep a couple words in the back of your mind. You might not hear the actual word, but I want you to hear it in what I'm telling you. So, words like perseverance, time, patience, surrender, and the big word evolution or evolve. You know, those things are going to come up in this conversation tonight, and I want you to think about your own lives within the conversation, okay? So the first story I'm going to share with you is a story about my daughter. And you know how I like to involve my kids in a lot of my presentations. So my daughter was, actually my kids, I think Amanda was 6 and Robbie was 8, baby Deb. When we went skiing the first time. Well, you know, while we're in this little break, let me say thanks to a couple people real quick. So you can cut all that stuff out. First, you know, Mark, where's Mark Gaylor real quick? You know, he's been a sponsor of this event for years. And he graciously stepped aside tonight to you know, let a buddy of mine by Mark Palick sponsor the event. So Mark's the title guy I've been using forever. So he said, yeah, he thought he was out, but I'm going to pull him right back in next time. Anyway, so Mark Palick is with Harvest Investments. He's a good friend, dear friend of mine, and he volunteered to sponsor the event tonight. And I don't know if you want to say a word or two, or he's been how long have you been in the business? 20 years. I met Mark at a networking event. You were in that group, weren't you, Mark? Mark Lenowicki was there. Mark Gaylor, you were in the same group, weren't you? Yeah, so we met a long time ago. Mark, I'm sorry? There you go. Well, I think, no, I got in after you. Oh, no, the other one, you're right, you're right. So Mark helps people invest their money, and you focus a lot on retirement, right? Yeah. So, you know, if you're looking for somebody that can help you with your retirement needs, you know, Mark, you know, he knows his stuff. You know, good guy, and, you know, love him a lot, man. So, in fact, another friend of mine, there's a lot of Marks here tonight. So Mark and myself, we're in a mastermind group together. We get together every other Friday, and we get together for about 2 hours. And we talk about our lives, our businesses, and we hold each other accountable. And we talk every Monday with a quick update on that. So Mark Burdinsky is with, I almost said U.S. Health Advisors, but United Healthcare now, right? Well, it's still U.S. And so anyway, so I want to say thanks to these guys, and I thank you all for being here. So anyway, back to the story time, okay? So my daughter was about 6 and Robbie was 8, and we go up to Deep Creek Lake. And they've never been skiing before, so they want to learn how to ski. Or Dad wanted to force them to learn how to ski. Anyway, so we decided to set up ski lessons. We get up there, and there's a group of people out there, and a bunch of people want to take this hour-long lesson. And we're there, my wife, you know, Robbie, Amanda, and I don't know, 20, 30 other people, and there's a few instructors there, right? So the guy starts talking about what's going to go on today, and then some guy comes up to us and goes, look, he goes, are these your kids here? And like, yeah, they are. And he goes, well, I just want you to know, we can't sit here and let them hold us up. You know, you guys are going to have to take what we teach you and teach them how to do it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, we pay for this lesson for 4 people. We want lessons for all of us. And so this guy jumps out of nowhere. This other instructor goes, you know what? I'll take care of you guys. So we have one instructor for the 4 of us. So we do this hour-long lesson. And of course, Robbie, Debbie, and Amanda had never skied before. So they're falling all over the place. And you know, we just go through this hour-long thing, and we finish up. And so the kids think they're done skiing for the day. So we go to the lodge to grab lunch. And on the way to the lodge, I decided to tell them a white lie. And that lie was, look, you guys got homework to do. The guy said your lesson isn't finished until you finish your homework. And the homework was, once we're finished lunch, you're going to come out here, and you got to get down the bunny hill without falling. And you have to continue to go down the bunny hill until you get down without falling. And they're like, oh, come on, Dad, that's crazy. We're not doing that. You're lying to us, you know. I'm like, I'm not lying to you, you know. And so they're giving me a lot of grief. So we eat lunch, we go back out, and we get back on the bunny hill. So Robbie gets up there. Robbie gets his skis on. He's going down the trail. He comes down, doesn't fall. So Robbie's ready to hit the diamond right away. And I'm like, Robbie, just be patient. So Amanda, she's up next. So she's falling and falling, falling. She goes up again. She's coming down. She's falling, falling. coming up again, falling, right? So I said, Deb, you hang with Amanda. Robbie and I were going to go ski a couple trails so he can get, since he knows how to ski and he can do it without falling, we're just going to hit a couple trails and we'll be back. So it might have been, I don't know, a half hour, an hour later, Robbie and I come back and Amanda's still tumbling, still falling, right? And it was on a Sunday and it was snowing and it was about, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon and like, it's a 3-hour ride. I'm like, okay, she's going to keep falling. She's miserable. She's crying. I don't want to, I'm ready to go, right? So I looked at Amanda, and she come down the hill, and she fell. She fell, right? And I'm like, she's crying and whining. And I said, Amanda, I said, I'm done. I said, we're going home right now. And she turns and looks at me, right in that moment, she turns and looks at me, and she's got a tear running down her cheek here. I'll never forget this. And she says, I'm not quitting. And I'm like, really? You're not quitting? I said, that's what I want to hear, but here's the deal. I said, you got one more chance. You go to the top of that hill, and you come down. If you fall, we leave. If you don't fall, we stay. So Amanda gets to the top of the hill. She starts coming down. Now, any beginner skiers here? Anybody ever take ski lessons here? What do they tell you to do? If you want to go straight, it's French fries, pizza. French fries, pizza, right? So Amanda's up at the top of the hill, and she starts coming down. Now, obviously, you come straight down, you're going to go too fast, especially, a kid that age. So she's making these wide turns, right? And she's doing the French fry, the pizza, the French fry, the pizza, right? So she's halfway down. She hasn't fallen. She's 2/3 of the way down. She's 3/4 of the way down. I'm like, oh, my God, she's going to do it. She's going to do it. She's going to do it. She gets all the way down. And I'm like, I got tears in my eyes now. I'm like, you did it. And she goes, can we do the black diamond? Right? So what did you hear in that? Perseverance, right? Not quitting, right? Took some time to get there. So I want to talk a little bit more about her. So this is she was 6, right? So at 6 or 7, 8 years old, she got into soccer. And she wasn't, at 6 or 7, 8 years old, how gifted can you be at that age? But she wasn't, I saw her not as a really gifted athlete at that time. And she loved soccer. And she said to me, she goes, I want to play soccer. I said, what do you want to do in your life? I want to play soccer, Dad. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you're never going to play soccer, right? I just didn't see it that way. So she gets involved in soccer. She's playing, elementary school soccer. She starts playing, the rec ball soccer. And little by little, she's getting better. Then she plays travel soccer. She got cut from the club team and had to play travel, which wasn't the end of the world. And travel had an A team and a B team, and she got cut from the A team and goes to the B team. And she every time she got cut, she would have this moment of, she was upset. She would cry. I mean, remember, like one time she was expecting to make varsity soccer as a freshman, and she didn't make it, and she cried for hours, right? So she's had this sense of like she wants something bad enough, but just wasn't getting it. But the deal was she never quit. She never quit. And every team that she got on, she would end up at some point in time being a leader, maybe not the leader, but a leader on the team. And she never had the fancy footwork or the fancy skills, but she always had the heart. And she always tried her best. And the coaches would they would look, at first they'd look, okay, she doesn't have the speed or the quickness to run and chase people down, but she was smart. And she knew how to cut angles, and she knew how to use her body to fend off, people coming down the field. But she never quit. And like I said, she would get on try for this team, try for that team, and get cut, but always come back. And she had this sense of resiliency about her and never give up. So like I said, she gets cut from the varsity as a freshman in soccer. She plays a lot. Next year, she's a sophomore on varsity. And she's actually playing a lot. And then as a junior, she develops into this leader on the team. Amanda's she was like the center back. She was the stopper. And I'm like, God, our little girl who I didn't think was ever going to play soccer at a high level, our little girl who couldn't get down the bunny hill but told me she's not quitting, those words not only stuck with me, they stuck with her because she never quit. And so this year, as a senior leader, a senior captain on the team, she was one of 2 seniors that started all year. She played almost every minute of every game except when she got a yellow card and had to come out. Maybe her father's temper caused that, I don't know. But she led the team, one of the leaders of the team, to a championship this past Saturday for Maryvale at Essex Community College. It was just unbelievable to watch this little girl go from here to here. And my point in telling you this story is it had to evolve over time. So she wasn't a superstar at 6, she wasn't a superstar at 8, 10, 12. She's not a superstar now. But she never gave up on her goal, on her dream of playing soccer at a high level. And it's like we have to let these things evolve sometimes. And so I take that, I was thinking about this Sunday morning, I went to church and I was just sitting there in quiet time and I was like, the word evolution came to me and I was thinking about how does the word evolution play out in our lives, in sports, in our businesses? How does it play out? So the next phase of that, I thought about the book, right? So the book, I promised these guys years ago that I was going to write a book. And whether it's me procrastinating, whether it wasn't ready to be done yet or not, or whatever the reasons were, it wasn't happening. And these guys called me out years ago, 3 years ago. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, the book is going to be going to print next week. So I first wrote the goal in 2005 or something like that, and it's going to print next week. But a lot of the book evolved in the last 3 to 4 years. So as hard of a time as they gave me for not producing it when I said I was going to write it, I sat back and I'm like, wow, it evolved in its time. In its time, not my time. And I'm like, wow, it's been years and years. I wrote my first chapter in 2005, and here it is 2019, and it's going to be printed next week. And I sat back and I thought of that. I was like, step outside of yourself. This is what I want you to get from this. I want you to step outside of yourself, and I want you to look at your own life and look at the stories in your own life and see how life has evolved for you from wherever you were to wherever you are to wherever you might want to go. And it takes patience. It takes time. And it takes the ability, or maybe even the guts, to surrender to what truly is supposed to happen. Because we want, as a society, we want things to happen yesterday. We want it to happen now, right? And then we get to this point, we look back and maybe we have regrets about the past, and then maybe we have anxiety about the future, but we're not living right here in the now and watching how things have evolved to what they are. And if we each one of us took the time and collected a file of stories in our lives and lessons that we've learned through those stories, I'll bet you'll be able to sit back and see the evolution of your life. And you could say there's good experience and there's bad experiences, but are there really any bad experiences? Because from those bad experiences, you can learn something. It can teach you a lesson that you can take with you and move forward in life, that you're like, wow, if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have learned this. If that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have appreciated this. So the moral of the whole story is think about what's going on in your life, what happened in the past, and how that can help you in the future. And let the evolution let it take its course. I was reading something it's called the Daily Stoic, and it said, don't wish for your will to be done, wish for whatever God's will is, because that's the way it's supposed to happen. That's the way life's supposed to turn out. But we fight it, and we like swim against the current all the time. So that's where the word surrender comes into play. Surrender to what is, right? We still have a responsibility. We still have a responsibility to do the activities, to make the calls, to go see people, to do our homework. We still have that responsibility, and then let it evolve. And that's what's so cool about life. So I'll finish up with I think I told you guys the title of the book, right? I mentioned that. If you don't know, the book's called Better Than You Think. And the way that whole thing came about, or evolved, let's say, I was sitting in my home office at a desk, and I'm looking at this whiteboard that have all these chapter titles on and all the stories that were under each chapter title. And I was looking at it one day, and I'm stressed out and anxious that, hey, is this book going to be any good? Anybody going to like it? Is anybody going to read it? Just say, give me a book and then put it on the shelf and collect 3 inches of dust, I'm thinking all these things, but then I'm looking at these stories, and I just had a moment. I'm like, wow, my life is better than I thought it was. And my guess is that your life is better than you think it is. And when you take the time to step back, step out of yourself, and look at what life has done for you, because it does it for you, not to you, odds are it's better than you think. So I appreciate you all being here. I take those words to heart. Take the time, meditate, pray on it, do whatever, but take the time to look back on your life and see how you got to where you are today. And maybe you're not happy with where you are today. What can you do to change that? But let things go the way they're supposed to go, but you got to do what you need to do to have that happen. So thank you again. And the book, again, it's being printed in 2 weeks. I should have copies in my hand. I was hoping by some miracle I would have it today. That would have been really cool. So I'm going to have it in my hands by the 22nd of November. And I will be giving copies out. Yes, I want to sell copies, but I will be giving copies out. And for those, when I give copies out, the whole goal in this book thing, well, the whole goal for me was to write a book and get speaking engagements. That was the initial goal until I learned all the nuances about writing a book. And I didn't know all the promotional things you got to do. I didn't know how to do a track change on Word document. I didn't know any of that stuff, and I've learned so much. But so the idea is I'm going to have these books, I'm going to give it to people, and I'm going to ask those who I give the books to, if you can make a commitment to read it within a 30 to 60 day time frame, and because I'm giving it to you, I want you to go on Amazon when it's launched and buy a copy of the ebook and give a review. Because I need to build up, I need some momentum behind it to get some, I guess some steam on Amazon. So we got a publisher right here, we got a published author right here, Mark Brudzinski, published 2 books. And so be on the lookout for that. If you would go to my website, this is a shameless plug, right? Go to my website, it's a new website, just created it 3 weeks ago, it's robcommodoreauthor.com. And then you can download what I have is a resource guide. Some of my favorite resources I've used to create and develop awareness. And go there, download it, and in time, we had a little glitch today, but in the next day or two, you'll be able to, you go on there, you put your information, you got to give me your email address, and then you'll get a resource guide. And what will happen is with your email information, I will be giving you updates on when the official launch will occur, which is going to be sometime maybe mid-January. So I'd appreciate it if you guys do that for me. I'll keep you in the email list. You're going to get another email when it's coming out. And, I hope to see you guys here 3 months from now. Thanks so much, okay?